He's going to be joining in late to the party a little bit, watching his teammates for 2 sets, and now expected to take on Reply Totem, fresh off of 2 Ws. First overall selection here is going to be the Mandy. Considering that they banned Piper, Nani, and Byron, I think they wanted their choice of sharpshooter. Mandy's certainly one of the better ones available, considering that Bell is also banned on the other end.
Yeah, well, Reply Totem are going to be the ones following up with 2 picks now. We've seen this map in the previous one, and it showed just brilliance for those kind of long-range brawlers. The Piper excelled, the Bell excelled. Most importantly, I would say Meg did absolutely amazing, but it's going to be the Gene that Reply Totem do pick up. Not something that I would have expected.
I don't mind it, though.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
You know, traditionally, Gene's going to do really well into these sharpshooters because it's really hard for a sharpshooter to bring Gene down. He's not a tank by any means, but he's got enough HP. You know, in the past, Piper, a great example of this. It's going to take multiple shots and really good aim to hit all of those and take down Gene. The poke damage is really pesky. The pull can grab you a kill. We saw Angelo in a situation earlier where I didn't love him, but in this spot, I think this is another pretty solid option here. I noticed that Carl's still available on the table. I think it was really smart of Totem to actually ban the Pearl, because Tribe Gaming do pull that brawler out pretty frequently on Bounty and Knockout.
Yeah, I mean, I like what both teams have got so far. I know that North American region really favors this Mandy on a lot of maps, more than, I will say, the rest of the world, I would say. Tribe Gaming definitely going to be able to put it to good use, though, and Meg to follow up as well. It's one of the brawlers that I mentioned at the start, was very solid in the previous time we saw it in that last series between STMN and Eclipsar. So they've got to hope that it's going to do the exact same for them. And it's been working against them. Never really for them so far.
Waiting to see if Tribe Gaming go for another confident pick here. They've had a couple X-Factor kinds of brawlers, right? We've seen Frank both times. I can't imagine a Frank or a tanky option like that shows up here. But Gray's going to be something...
I'd be very worried if it did.
Yeah, exactly. We would be quite concerned at that point. They're picking up a Gray, though. I think if you are trying to box Reply Totem out of maybe picking a thrower, which is something that Mandy doesn't necessarily like to see. Meg, on this map in particular, has a lot of health points, but with medium range and an open map, sometimes that can be a little pesky as well. I think having the walking cane, the revolving door with Gray, I can see where they're coming from for sure.
Well, Reply Totem do still have this last pick, and it's going to be a big ask to be able to beat this Tribe comp, because I really do like what they brought to the table, and it's that aggression. They're bringing in the Carl, and I absolutely love Carl. One of my favorite brawlers, and it will do extremely well against some of these. You know, you're going to probably get knocked back if you go in for a little pirouette on the Meg and dealt with by the rest of the team. But if you pick your kind of battles well, it can work.
This is definitely going to be an interesting one. Carl's one I mentioned just a few picks ago, and I just think as an aggressive option that can guarantee you a blue star, it's hard to say no to, especially on the other end where I don't really see any hard counters. If anything, the tailspin is a really good option to quickly bring Meg out of her mech. Obviously, you get bounced away with that star power that Meg has, but I do think it could certainly work. They're going to go for that blue star immediately here. A flying hook to kick us off here for set number 3. Do or die for Tribe Gaming.
Tyrant, his feet are moving. Beautiful stuff. He's juked all the way up, and eventually they're going to get the kills. Gadget from Eslivy hits 2, I think. Oh! Tribe off to a flying start. Exactly what they needed.
They need a confidence boost. Now piercing through the wall is Livy holding on to a super. Lurking in the grass right now. He hasn't popped the shot yet. I think he's looking to maybe get a little extra value here, trying to find an opportunity to go for 2. Instead, though, going to cautiously retreat. Now Tribe Gaming on their back foot on the spawn side.
Yeah, I mean, holding it is never a bad thing either. Little Gadget missed there from Chaos as well, trying to shoot through that wall, and Maury gets a shot against him here as he chooses yet again not to waste that super. Doesn't feel confident in getting the kill, so he holds off. Meg back into the mech once more. TP comes in, great stuff, and that's the synergy they need. Zulan evades the pull and switches places with Tyrant to get the kill on Maury too. Brilliance from Tribe, wonderful gameplay. Carl back in spawn, and they pinch him down too.
Now we're talking. Tribe Gaming, look at that. The old switcheroo with the teleporter. When Gray falls weak, here comes 8,000 HP hurtling its way at you. They gotta hold on though. 11-5, certainly a possibility to come back. Now a dive in from Carl, going for the tailspin. Disrupted by a grab from Zulon. Follow through shots from Tyrant. What a 1-2 punch we've got going right now for Tribe Gaming.
Great shot in there from Chaos, though, brings it to a narrow difference of 4. TP from Tyrant, maybe wanting to heal up, as Livy has a super, and there's not really a way of disrupting it at the moment. Maury doesn't have pull. TP again from Tyrant, but he falls low as Livy trying to find a shot and the follow-up too. They're getting pinned down, and this could be match point. Only 5 minutes. Chaos gonna go in. No, I mean, Zulan's gonna go and get Chaos. Maury looking for the kill, but they can't kill him. Tribe on top of the world, and they're getting so many, and they cut it short. 20 stars, and finally, we see Tribe for who they are.
Exclamations from the crowd. This is what we want to see. Those first two sets aren't reflective of the Tribe gaming that we know. You're seeing Zulan standing, pacing a little bit. He's starting to feel it. Some people in the crowd getting their game on. Little Tribe jersey and some support going their way. They're not on home soil. They're in Europe fighting against one of the powerhouses of the world. Reply Totem, this time doing much better. The trade going through, but thankfully for them, that blue star rests with him as Livy tapping once again, though.
Hits two with the gadget, gets the kill, follows up with another shot. It's just brilliant. Eslivy's playing so well. Little walking came through there to try and kill Maru, but no follow-up could be done. That's okay. A little wall break in there will probably help out their side. Gadget through the wall from Chaos. It's not going to secure anything just yet as he tries to get this follow-up, but no further shots here.
Oh no. Oh, just off the mark. Maru was low enough to where if that had connected, would have been a blue star switch. They still got 2 stars. That is great, but we know how valuable that blue star can be. Zulan in a world of trouble. The chip shot from Mari just enough there, and now Totem take the swing.
Yeah, they do have the lead. Blue Star is deciding it at the moment. Gadget goes through as Livy gets the shots in. Should be fairly close to another super. But Tyrant is out of mech. There it is, and he doesn't get it. Missed again. From where he was to where he is now, these supers cannot be missing. But he is the main man on Tribe who's getting these kills, and I'm sure he'll continue to do just that.
It gave them space at a bare minimum, though. Less than a minute on the clock. And everybody's settling down. Pistols at sunset is what it's going to look like. A missed walking cane, but a made pool. Chaos with the follow-through. 2-star lead for Totem.
Complete difference here. Hypercharge available from Chaos 2 over this left-hand side. Might be able to make something happen with that. Maru, Gadget, Super. Should be able to deflate a push that comes in, but he has got the blue star. He is the one at risk. He's the target Tribe will be looking for. Anybody on this Reply Totem team falls and it's flipped. Tribe get one. Gadget comes in, spinning onto him. Maru flips it, has the blue star. The Tyrant hunting him down. Zulan in the spawn, and they extend their lead further. Super won't get it, and Tyrant alone surely can't make it happen. Match point for Reply Totem up next.
Strong first half for Tribe Gaming. Now they're facing the ultimate test. A crowd rallying behind Totem right now. Tribe Gaming, 1 game away from going home. What would be absolute devastation. One of the most renowned teams in history of Brawl Stars. Missing Worlds has never happened for them. And this is the first real time that we're questioning that.
A sweep in the golden ticket game would be devastating for Tribe. Not going to World Finals is just unheard of for this organization. And this might be the time that it happens to them. Great shots coming in from Eslivy. Follow-up Super just clips him, and it's extending this lead. Gets 4 stars, and Totem, 2v3. Just gonna have to hold off now, but pull comes through. TP might be there. Gadget used, no connection from Eslivy.
Reply Totem not starting off as hot as they did in game number 2. This is much more reminiscent of what we saw in that opening game as Livy going for a gadget, a nice pop. That was enough to get him a Super 2. I don't think they know this. Fires connects with Maru. Every time you make a connection with that Mandy Super 2, it's half a super recharge for Brawler. So as Livy might be 1 to 2 shots away once again, he's got it again. Fires, connects. Maru still staying alive though. He's just too healthy.
These gene heals just come in so clutch. Would have got that kill if it wasn't for the gene heals. Make or break for both of these teams. Reply Totem win, and they go to Worlds. Tribe Gaming win. They still need another 2 sets, but they stay alive. Super Veil from Eslivy again might be able to score this one. All 3 together just threads the needle, and that's one of the times you don't want to be doing that. Pressure coming in from Chaos. Down the right-hand side, has the Super activated, trying to find the shots onto Tyrant, but no shots are connecting. Tyrant just surviving this one out. Not enough to go down, but Tribe will fall out of that mech, and they're in a tough spot.
This is starting to be a scary situation. Zulan diving in, goes for the kill. He's carrying this blue star, though. He might be pinched if he's not careful. Is Livy ready for a super? Connects once again. They must have had him playing Mandy all off stage in those first 2 sets.
I mean, this is crazy. His Mandy is just ridiculous. He's putting Tribe on his back at the moment. Chaos, Hypercharge ready to go. This is the push that will decide it all. Will they get it? Super comes through, clips Chaos. TB runs all on and he gets it. Maru goes in, tries to go right, but he'll fall too. Tribe survive, drag it to a set 4.
You're starting to see the audience come alive. This is postseason Brawl Stars, folks. This team fought through 2 brutal opening sets. We have not been easy on them on the mic, but that's what we're talking about. That's the dream for Tribe Gaming. It looks like this is going to be map dependent as well. I think Fade hopping in for Zulan here, a little pat on the back. Zulan is somebody that's been in this league in Brawl Esports for as long as I can remember. And to pat a guy on the back that joined your team a month ago and to say, I'm putting my faith in you right here, right now. That's a wild thing. I mean, we haven't even talked about that dynamic for Tribe Gaming. They're really the only team on the planet right now that are doing this kind of rotation.
I mean, did it work though? It absolutely did.
Oh, I mean, Livy's cracked with the Mandy. Oh my gosh.
As Livy comes in and just does so much. Gadgets hitting, supers hitting, just getting so many kills. He was the one who really brought that back for Tribe, I feel.
I mean, especially coming off the bench too.
Yeah.
There's egos that come into play. Sure, these guys are all fine and good with each other, but at the end of the day, you're competing amongst your team at this point to get starting time. I think they've just each got designated roles. Tyrant has consistently been in play. I know North American people know how darn good he is at this game on just about any brawler, but it was his Livy that certainly shined there. Meg getting in the mix here and there. We saw Gray go up for those follow kills, some really cheeky ones with that as well, but that game 3, as Livy just had ice in his veins.
They still need another 2 sets, but if it carries on like that, they'll be able to. They need to get the draft right, just as they did then. And Totem need one more still. Stats-wise, it's all Tribe.
I mean, goodness gracious.
10 kills for Zulan.
329 DPS as a Mandy?
Yeah.
He was tapping, and 7 kills, getting outpaced by Zulan. I feel like that's mainly because Zulan would, you know, throw in the shots every once in a while, but because he had the walking cane, the dimensional door, Gray is great for the follow-through. Sure, as Livy and Tyrant, the machine gun fire plus the long-range snipes, it's enough to get those brawlers down to 1,800, 2,000 HP, and then here comes Zulan rushing in, and a cheeky exit with a dimensional door out.
Or a dimensional lore in. Like,
absolutely, it's aggressive, it's passive, it's everything.
It does everything. It does everything, and that is exactly what he was doing with it as well. Absolutely everything. His TP's in, getting kills. The walking canes were good for breaking the walls, making sure the Carl can't kind of like peek back and forwards, has to fight in the open ground where he's not too comfortable. Reply Totem, not looking the same as they were, and neither are Tribe. But that's a good thing for Tribe, and not so much for Totem.
It's gotten to the point where people are standing on their feet at the arena here. Set number 4, Hot Potato. Tribe Gaming trying to work their way back in this set. It's going to be the bands of Clancy, Crow, and Colette. A lot of heavy damage dealers. On the other end, Colette, Larry, Lori, and Nita. Definitely made me think that Reply Totem were going to have this first overall pick.
It does seem that way. Clancy, whichever side Clancy's banned on,
yeah,
the opposite team's probably got.
Ooh.
First pick Frank.
Doing it themselves now.
On Hot Potato, I mean, one hypercharge destroys the entire hit, bear in mind. So it might be useful to actually pair that with some long range for once, but it takes quite a while to get that hypercharge off the start, especially when you're playing quite passive on Heist.
When you're playing Frank too, I feel like it's really difficult to utilize a thrower here, right? Because like you said, if you hit a hypercharge super, that thing's going around in a full circle, 360 degrees of chaos just hitting the ground. And also, it's kind of interesting to see Totem adapt this, because we saw Frank as a first overall pick just a little bit ago, and it did not work out so well, especially into the likes of the old man.
Yeah, well, that's a good pick from Tribe. Offensive, defensive, good against tanks in every scenario, really. Stopping these attacks that Reply Totem are going to want to mount behind this Frank. Hypercharge is just absolutely ridiculous, deals so much damage, and so does that default knockback now. It's actually mad how much that does. But Tribe do still have this pick. We'll see what they do choose to take. Maybe they still, no, they definitely need some damage if they're going to go with a Gale.
Got to, yeah.
Barley does roll in, and I love a Barley.
You need to have some kind of heist safe damage. I feel like sometimes pro players fall into this trap of, we'll just win the entire length of the game. We'll hold positioning. You know, maps that come to mind, especially the Kaboom Cans, the World of Safe Zones, a lot of the times you'll see these Eves and other brawlers come out, and I feel like sometimes lost in translation that at the end of the day, you got to play the game mode. You're not always going to win, especially in a meta like this, you know, 100 to 75%. These come down to the wire. People are dealing damage. Gale not going to be great at that, but he is going to be great into Frank. Speaking of good at damage, and now good at healing as well. The Unicorn coming into the fray.
I mean, they had to bring in a thrower, and that's going to do a lot of damage to the safe. They linger so long. They just stay there on the safe, you know, and you can increase your heals, your ammo with just throwing them at your feet, help your teammates with the heals as well. And, you know, when you're playing a tank into these kind of comps, you need as many heals as you can get. And the same with Meg as well. Going to be benefiting so much off this berry. It's a very well-rounded comp, but this Frank is either going to hit hard or miss.
Yep, make or break kind of moment here for Reply Totem as well. I mean, we saw this similarly to Tribe Gaming earlier. Obviously a very different map, a very different mode. The Barry, Frank, and Meg combo, though, is insane. Oof, a bull. Putting your World Finals hopes in a bowl.
Not a primo?
It is interesting. I mean, Bull can get to the end. He is going to be a heavy damage dealing brawler. He is going to do well into the Frank, and honestly, probably pretty well into the Meg, right? I mean, as a shotgun brawler, going to be able to bring it down quick, but the thing you always have to worry about is if you want to combat Meg, you're going to have to get in her face, then she's going to bounce you away, and he doesn't have long range. It's not a here and now kind of pick. It's not a this meta kind of pick, but I think it makes sense on paper, right?
It does, just because it's heist and it can deal damage.
Sure.
But I don't know, I still would have picked a pre-roll, I feel. I'm not sure if I'm just being completely stupid about saying that and I'm missing a beat. But it seems to me like that would have been the play. I mean, Fade's just going. He's just going. I mean, that's exactly what he needs to do. Just take the damage, get the super, and also the rest of his team's doing a good job of defending so far. First signs of damage do come from Tribe, and he survives it on out a little bit longer too.
Fade finally falling. Mari breaking away on the right-hand side. You're going to see top of your screen there, some damage being dealt. Last call hitting the ground. All the potions from Barley connecting to that high safe. Strong start here for the red roster.
I mean, Fade's rolling on in as well with the super swings there, but he's going to be able to get away from it.
Oh my gosh.
That's huge damage. Berserker on safe too. Not really seeing the same from the other side. Chaos getting some damage here and there, and the Frank getting a few taps, but it's still not that much.
Here comes the damage. Ari now putting in some work, keeping himself alive a little bit longer, and all of a sudden, this just got interesting. 1% separating these two teams. Totem breaking through here. The pushback. Fade forced to dive in. He greets him with a shotgun, and now Frankenstein's on the other end, looking to meet him. 2 hypercharged touching down as Livy needs to find some chip shots in here. He's forced away. Here comes Tyrant. The pushback. The fade. It's good. 3% is enough. Tribe Gaming extend.
That safe was burning down for so long. I was like, is this going to finish? Are they going to win? Reply Totem on this side. It was just...
I thought they may have had it.
Falling for so long, but Tribe bounce back. It stops at 3, and they don't stop pounding that safe down until they've won the game. 1 game away from the tie.
This is what we live for, folks. An intense game number 1 here of set 4. Tribe Gaming looking to do the unthinkable, trying to drag us to a second set 5 today.
Same thing happened again. Fade's been allowed to kind of just free roam this left side, get some early poke damage, get some early super. He's not going to complain about his gadget used as well, and he's keeping this positioning. As if he's going to get the kill on the main damage dealer Berry, but Maury going to get that star power use as extra damage will start rolling through. Oh,
now he's going to cut off Maru here as well. He's got a super available. I mean, Tyrant has just been pesky, looking to push back the enemy. He's going to let his Livy and Fade do work. Chaos diving in. Tyrant slices him back. Fade marching on in. Immediately disrupted by an explosion from that mech, but his Livy has a last call available, and it's definitely going to connect.
I mean, those berry shots are lingering. It gives them the lead pretty much from doing nothing. Fade's just going to go try and leave the Frank here. Base race rolling on in. Maru's so low, but Maury's still pounding away at the safe up top. Surely Tribe win this. Berry's going to get taken down. Berserker on the safe. Barley rolls in. We're going to set 5. Tribe even the score.
Set number 5 on the way. These fellas want it bad. Reply Totem now, the one without momentum. That's been the talk of the offseason. 70% of the folks at home picked Reply Totem. The casting desk here was torn. Call it a gut feeling, but I've just seen some adversity from Tribe Gaming more recently. Reply Totem have been successful. We saw them firsthand at the Brawl Ball League put on a clinic for us. They're flashy, they're fun, they're mechanically sound, but they fall victim just like Tribe Gaming does. To me, this is 2 teams that have been parallel the entire year. It's just been a wave of ups and downs. It's been different timings for each of them. Tribe Gaming more recently, maybe not what we would want them to be. Yesterday was a test for them. Foot Esports, a team that I thought were absolutely one of the favorites to making out of here, just blindly, obviously not knowing what those day 2 matchups were going to be. I think it's okay to lose a best 2 of 3. I think maybe we're a little bit harsh on Tribe Gaming. Clearly, they deserve to be here on day number 2.
I mean, the Barley was defending so well against the Frank as well, and the Berry alone. Eventually, when he gets up, it helps the damage so much, but it's the Berserker Bull. It did so much. They let it free, free roam. He did.
Stroll down on the lane.
A little bit of free roam on the left-hand side, straight to the safe. Nobody was contesting that, and it happened twice in a row.
463 DPS, 560. We are hitting record highs here on Golden Ticket Sunday. I'm going to comment on this, too. Corey, if you know him, he's a pretty chill guy. I haven't seen him just erupt with emotion like that in a long time. He was a previous player for this organization, now a coach. He's been through these guys, through it all. He's put a lot of blame on himself at times too. When chatting with him, sometimes he feels like those drafts just haven't been good enough. But we just saw for 2 straight sets what happens when they are armed with good brawlers, when they have those good matchups. Now they just have to ask Corey for one more good draft.
That's all they need. As soon as that third set hit and they were against the wall, almost being swept by Reply Totem, everything has changed. The drafts have been good. The gameplay's been miles better. And it's dragged us all the way to a set number 5 to decide it. 2 in a row. The first game decided in set 5. Second game decided in a set 5. We couldn't ask for any more.
The arena's on their feet, but it's certainly a different tone here than what we saw early. A lot of crowd cheering for Reply Totem, and then a retaliation by Tribe Gaming. You started hearing chirps from them. Still got people on the edge of their seats. No matter where you are in the world, this is what we love to see. And with about 30 seconds to go, each of these teams are rearing up what is going to be the most important set of their 2024 year.
Who will go home? Who will go to World Finals? Deep breaths from the Tribe Gaming side as they start to lock in and get ready for set number 5 against a vast opponent in Reply Totem. They need this win. Reply Totem need it as well. Who will be going to Superfest November the 1st? That is the question.
You could hear a pin drop right now. Each of these sides just deliberating what to do. The lineup for Tribe Gaming seems to be Fade and as Livia staying in alongside Tyrant. Zulon sitting this one out. Egos have to be set aside, and he's gonna have to put a lot of faith in the man that has joined him for only a month. Here we go, folks. Set number 5, Flaring Phoenix draft underway.
Decided on this map again, and Pearl being picked up once more. This time, Tribe Gaming take it as their first selection. Their bans being the Frank, the Byron, and the Buster. Over the other side, Reply Totem banning out the Larry and Laurie, the Gene, and they don't want to see any Buster either.
Yeah, and the Byron in tandem with 2 tanks is a really interesting one. I mentioned it earlier. They saw it in the ban stage just a few sets ago, but this time Tribe Gaming escaped with the Pearl. It's something that I've really noticed in scrims, in gameplay from monthly finals this year. This is a team that does not mind going Pearl on this particular mode, especially in Knockout. I feel like you saw what it could do earlier. We saw, I believe it was Bobby, right, who is utilizing this Brawler in the final set of our previous match here. It has some heavy firepower, a solid amount of HP. It has that chip damage, the burning away as well with that gadget. All of that can be really good. If you are going to have a Brawler kind of go at Meg, I think Pearl might be one of the better options, especially considering our bans.
That's why it's so surprising to see them slide the Meg in here.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That really does surprise me. I mean, it worked when Eclipsar played it against STMN. Eclipsar had the Meg, STMN had the Pearl, and they still won. But if you want any answer to that Meg, it's going to be Pearl a lot of the time. Second pick for Tribe Gaming will be following in Tick.
Wow.
Is what we see, and it's been a while, but it's going to be able to keep that huge range advantage, scout out the mid, and deal with the Barley before it gets a bit sketchy.
They have to be careful here because they don't want Reply Totem to boast too much HP, get something really aggressive that could be up in the face of Tick, because Tick is going to be great at the chip shot, the long range, has a gadget that can kind of throw enemies off. It's very similar to the mechanic that Meg's star power is going to have here. The Tick head alongside that hypercharge is really annoying to deal with. Even at a pro level, these guys don't like it. Yeah, I could hear that one from the crowd. A lot of question marks going down. They are rolling with Daryl here into what I imagine is honestly a pretty good matchup on paper into Barley. If they go with the slowdown, that adds a little bit into the equation. But rolling onto Meg makes a lot of sense. It's bold.
I'm not going to try and justify it.
I don't know. Prove it to me. I think it's got a chance. I really do. I don't know if it, hear me out. It's not the first thing I would have selected, but I don't know. You think Totem prepared for this? You think Totem prepared for a draft where Daryl rolls up? And maybe there's a reason for that. We've seen this in monthly finals in America work out quite well, actually. I don't think we can rule it out. Look, man, they've clawed their way back this far. It was bold. It was crazy. I'm sure the folks at home has as many questions as we do, but these guys have been in this spot too many times to make me doubt them now. I still think it can go either way.
I agree. I mean, Tribe, I'm not going to completely doubt the Daryl. I'm going to question it heavily. I'm going to question it heavily.
Fair enough.
As you said, prove it to me, Tribe. Prove it.
Here we go. We're setting up for a banger of a finale here. It's only match number 2 of the day. Reply Totem taking on Tribe Gaming. 2 familiar rivals charging at each other right now. Maru storming down this right-hand side as Mari takes the long range in the mid. Heals available for iChaos as Tribe are already just put in a corner. They have opportunity to get out of this with a Daryl roll. An explosion from Tyrant is a defensive mechanism. A Tick can keep the range, but they don't want to extend this too long.
A very different vibe to the last knockout we saw in the previous series. Complete aggression, perfect roll, knocked back, and he cycled it again. Back onto Maru, Fade pulls out brilliantly there, manages to stay alive. The burn down damage keeps Chaos and Mori low, and Tyrant should be able to sweep in and take this down. Totem not starting good, and Fade, I told you to prove me, and you're proving me. I mean, right? Yeah.
Let's take a good paper matchup. Somebody that's off the meta, arguably one of the worst brawlers in the game, but it works into Meg. I've seen it in scrims, I've seen it in monthly finals, even Match Arena tournaments, for crying out loud. This is unusual, but folks, trust me, you just saw what it could do there. This is by no means gonna be an easy walk away for Tribe Gaming though, but I think it put a lot of doubt in Maru's head now.
I think so too. He's not going to be overstepping that line again, is he? Perfect roll over the top of that water, extending it straight onto Maru's face. Then he cycled it for when he got knocked back as well. Couldn't have asked for a better play from Fade. And the Tick just scouting out these bushes, make sure Reply Totem don't come as aggressive as they did last time. And I think Totem have learned their lesson too.
Totem learning their lesson, and they're holding it back this time. It's going to be Darrow waiting for an opportunity to strike. Hypercharge available for Tyrant. Maru still firing down some heavy machine gun action, and Tick can just keep chipping away. Chaos is just hoping that somebody rolls up into one of his shots.
But do they win late game either, Totem? That's the thing. Now the hypercharge comes in around the side. Tyrant going to try and... Oh, what a burn down on the left. Pitches straight across. Tickhead comes in straight onto the RT legs. Doesn't even need it. Tyrant and Fade get the others. Tribe going to match point. And it all happened as fast as that.
Fire in Corey's eyes. What a bold call from Coach. I don't know who suggested that brawler, but the fact that it just won a game in a golden ticket match, and now all of a sudden, Tribe Gaming are the ones on match point. This organization has not missed a World Finals, and they're one game away from keeping the streak alive.
As they're spamming down early, and Totem reverting back to their previous ways of going all out in the beginning and hoping things end differently this time. Shots raining down from the Tick. Maru falling low, healing up, falling low, healing up. The Tickhead connects, and they're backing off.
Totem started once again with no utility to start out on either side. They're okay rushing to the other end. They got to live with their choices. They're getting a few good taps, especially from this long range. I really like Mari's odds here, connecting with Tyrant several times, bringing him down. Fade once again in prime position to just hide it out as Livy waiting patiently. I feel like Tribe Gaming have been just so calculated in this second half, especially here in Knockout.
Roll available again as Livy able to throw this head down and tank some damage. Tyrant played it perfectly with the burn last time. And Fade looking for this positioning once more. Mori able to drop his legs. Here comes the healing tonic, keeping Chaos high on HP. Maru popping the gadget as well. Tickhead comes in, wastes some of that ammo. Perfectly ready to get going now. Tyrant needs to throw down a gadget or something before he goes down. Still so low, Barley will get that. Hypercharge, Tickhead comes down, Fade versus the world. And this time, it won't be happening. Reply Totem take the first round, and Tribe falls short.
You can tell his home court here. Reply Totem fans going nuts for that first round. Tribe Gaming with a long road ahead of them. They can't get ahead of themselves here. Chaos, Maru. This time, they're the ones that are going to wait it out. They had a good result there towards that end game. They played it patiently. They waited around, ended up working out. They're more than capable of trying to take this set too.
I mean, supers, and more supers from both sides. 2 for Totem, 3 for Tribe Gaming. 2 rounds in a row will take for Tribe. Reply Totem need this to even it out and take it to double match point. The engage starting to happen as Mori gets the pinch onto Fade, tags him up, tags Tyrant as well. Brilliant play from him to mark these 2 players and keep them out the way for a bit.
They got to keep Maru in this mech. A pea shooter of a pistol is not going to do any good in these in-game circles. Tyrant looking down this left-hand side. Maru from the long distance. Chaos letting it all loose. Every super hitting the floor. A big pickup there. Fade goes down. Another one for Maru as Livy gonna be stuffed in a corner, doing his best to 1v3, but what can a lone thrower do? Double match point.
These games, man, these games are so good. The first series all the way to this game. The second series, more of the same. Double match point. Reply Totem versus Tribe Gaming. Who goes to Worlds and who goes home?
Everybody take a deep breath here. One game to decide a golden ticket between 2 of the most historic franchises this sport has ever seen. Fade starting out hot, rushing to the right-hand side as Mari goes for the long range. Maru firing down, an aggressive totem to start off this game once again. They're already throwing down a super for his Livy. It's going to explode, and if anything, it's going to reveal Fade's positioning a little bit easier now.
Yeah, he's not going to enjoy that, but Tyrant has this shield built up. Mori gonna get burned down quite heavily by Tyrant. He might just stay in there, should be able to get that kill if he follows up. Can't find the connections, and the rest of Tribe are falling apart. Tyrant versus 2, and he does not have a chance.
Not sure about the decision making there. Tribe Gaming to complete this reverse sweep now have to win 2 straight rounds. Reply Totem fans are on their feet, and they're just gonna sit around. They're the ones in the driver's seat here. The momentum has shifted to Tribe Gaming for so long. The bold pick of Daryl, the shots from his Libby, everything has to be perfect here.
Tyrant starts to move forwards, gets tapped up, and that mark coming along with it is going to be devastating if he gets caught out of position. Chaos has this last call in hand, and that is so useful for zoning the opponents into a position you want. And with this tick, with this Daryl, they don't want to be caught in that.
Everybody just being cautious. Nobody over-aggressing here. Daryl has the aggressive role available. Chaos can let loose at any moment. Supers available for both ends, and the red roster have to play this perfect. Shield on Tyrant right now. Maru still firing down. A super going in. Fade diving in at an impromptu time. He's gonna fall to the gadget. Chaos gets connected with, but he hasn't gone down yet. Tyrant, desperation gadget falls. 3 Totem members standing tall as Livy, the last man here, and the Gladiators have done it. Reply Totem, take it all.
Tribe fall short, and Reply Totem will be going to the World Finals once more. Europe prevail over NA again. And look what it means to them. Look at the fans supporting them all the way through.
What a match. It's one we're gonna remember for a long time. Despite criticism, despite how the year has gone, Tribe Gaming put up a heck of a fight. But spoils go to the victors. Reply Totem, EMEA dark horses here. Crazy that we're calling them a dark horse. But in terms of seeding, they were the last one to earn their spot. Now they're the second team here today to secure a World Final spot.
Go down there with the camera.
Absolutely unreal for these players. Massive stuff for Reply Totem. Drop a little selfie in there as well. And they've made it all the way to World Finals. Tribe Gaming falls short, sadly for them, but Reply Totem are victorious.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. The first time we're not going to see Tribe Gaming in a Brawl Stars World Finals.
I did not sign up for this level of emotion when I got out of bed today.
My heart, man. My heart.
You know, I prefer to avoid that at all costs. That and commitments, but here I am. I'm feeling it, my goodness. Tribe come so close. That reverse sweep was absolutely on the cards as Livy subbed in. Incredible stuff. Let's hear from these guys.